Just a quick reminder to get an exclusive 10% discount on picking up the GoBe2 watch. Use the code MrTix10 and go to the link bit.ly/HEALBE. bit.ly/HEALBE. Thank you. Greetings and welcome to Smartwatch Ticks. We're a YouTube channel on the web at smartwatchticks.com. We review all kinds of watches here. We've done Fitbits, we've done Galaxy, tons of Android watches, and all other fitness, health, you name it, we've done it, but we've never done anything like this. Inside these two boxes are bands, watches that do some very unique things, one of which is automatically computing your daily calorie intake, automatically assessing your hydration level and letting you know if you need to drink water, automatically waking you up at the appropriate time in your sleep cycle so you'll be refreshed, and a lot more. We're going to dive into the actual reviews of these two in separate reviews, but I want to tell you they are very different, but they go for exactly the same goals. This is what they look like in the back. The GoBe2 is built on a technology of galvanic skin resistance, while the GoBe3 uses the photodiode PPG systems. Be sure to watch both reviews, and that way you begin able to decide which one is right for you. When you're ready to pick it up, I got an exclusive 10% discount code for you, MrTix10. Got to use this link, though, bit.ly/HEALBE, okay? Company's HEALBE, bit.ly/HEALBE. Now, let's begin the reviews. The GoBe2. Wow. Now this is a piece of really interesting technology. It, of course, sprung from the GoBe1, which was back in about 2015. I think this is about 2018-19 time frame. They enhanced that with some new capabilities. That's the serial number I have taped up there. You got the Gobe unit, the charging dock, a quick start guide, and it's waterproof, this one. Let's take a look at it as we open it up. Let me tell you, there we go. Oh, nice. Let me tell you a little bit about it, how you can get it. Once again, it's a HEALBE GoBe2 we're looking at right now, and this is the link you want to use if you're going to pick it up. Check in the show notes. I'll have the link there. You can just click on it, and be sure to apply MrTix10 for a 10% discount. What is this one? This one right here. This is the Amazon link. It's been reduced from $119 to $118, and then we got the discount going, and we're going to get into it, look at it in detail, but it's got worldwide shipping, and it's available right now. Here it is. When I pull it out, you see the unit looks like this. There's a few things we want to go through. Look at this. Very great attention to detail. They got their company logo on it. Really important to remove this cover that's covering the charging dock points and the entire apparatus for assessing your galvanic skin resistance. So what is galvanic skin resistance? I played with that years ago with something that you could use for biofeedback to help reduce stress and things. Oh, did I mention these reduce stress too? They have that component in them. Look at that. It's like pure gold. Amazing. They're two different electrodes. And when you have it on your arm and it's making contact with your skin, after it normalizes and figures out what the humidity like is in your skin, it's going to do an electrical thing of measuring resistance. You know, the E and I and V and R and all those equations that come into basic electricity. You have a certain amount of skin resistance. And when you measure that really carefully, you can learn a whole lot. And what you learn is what this is all about. So, to set up your GoBe2, you're going to download this HEALBE app from either the App Store or Google Play. It looks like this. This is right here in the actual Google Play Store. And I just wanted to show you quickly some of the screens we're going to be taking a look at. This is after you get a whole bunch of data. You got to do it for a few days to get the baseline and then see how your body is reacting in taking in calories and burning calories automatically. No tracking of things and writing down how many croutons were on your salad. This is after the fact. You ingest it, and then it figures it out from reading your galvanic skin resistance. Of course, it's got heart rate monitoring, different than the PPG diode one style that we see in all the other watches. This is doing it through that, I don't know, really fascinating, but apparently pretty darn accurate. It also assesses and tracks your quality of sleep, all right, in a 24-hour period, and going to give you a quality number, and it will let you control your stress levels. You get to assess how your stress is throughout the day, whether you have no, low, or moderate, and maximum stress too. So those are the screens. We'll look at the app in a lot more detail later. Look at this. It says pull. Really nice packaging here. Pull. Do I have to slide it up? Nope. I just lift it up. Oh, wow. Okay. So that's a little box that holds the band. Interesting. Okay. Then we've got manual inside of here. Whoa. A sticker pack. A warranty card. Oh, we get those. A purple. Nice. Oh, wow. High-end detail here. We've got a USB charger. It's your basic USB-C to a micro USB. And then we've got the charging dock. You didn't see me do that. In the bottom. And obviously, the charging dock is going to need to attach. Oh, wow, that's smooth. That just goes right into it. And it's magnetically coupled. Great. Plug it in here. Plug it in your charger. Charge it up. Going to do that, of course, before you even turn it on. Give it a good solid charge. Get that battery cycling properly. Okay, that's the charging aspect of it. We've got this warranty policy, not in English, but that's the card we've got. It's got a 1-year warranty according to this. Maybe the warranty's only in China. I'm not sure. And then we've got stickers. Oh, I'm in love with my body. Looks like, I thought it said Hershey's. Oh, well, okay. You'll be heroes. Don't eat Hershey's. Ah, cute. All right, some little fun stickers to play with. And then the manual. And as you guys all know, if you've watched the channel a while, I do page through every page of the manual. It might be the only place you get to see these things if they're not already in a PDF format or something, and most of the time they're not. Because of the complexity of this unit and all the things it can do, I'm going to take a little extra time on each page to freeze it for you. Now, I know you can't speed read that fast, but you certainly can freeze frame your YouTube playback and take all the time you need to read it, go forward or backward a page, whatever you need to do. Oh, well, that was quick, because now we are in Russian. It looks like this device is supported with English and Russian primarily, and then Chinese probably is in here. Japanese. Okay, there's a few different languages, but really fascinating that there's a Russian presence with this, an extensive blog on the web from Russia, everything. So, yeah, pretty cool. Okay, as required, I'm going to charge it up, and then we'll turn it on and take a quick look at it and see how it works together with the app. Just a quick reminder to get an exclusive 10% discount on picking up the GoBe2 watch. Use the code MrTix10 and go to the link bit.ly/HEALBE. bit.ly/HEALBE. Thank you. So while we're waiting for it to charge and get ready, let me go over really what this is about. It's a specific band that really is invented for automatic calorie intake tracking to better understand your energy balance. It doesn't use or rely on manual calorie counting. It does it automatically by measuring your digested calories. We'll talk about how they do that in a second. You also have body hydration monitoring, and Instead of those drink water notices you get on the regular fitness bands, you have sedentary reminders every hour to get up and walk, hydration reminder every set amount of time, 90 minutes or whatever, to sip water. This does it scientifically. This actually tells you, based on what it's reading when it's on your arm, and the humidity, the moisture that's there, when it's appropriate to take a drink. And you've got this emotional and stress level monitoring in it as well. Really fun features. This is what it's based on. We're going to get a little technical. If you don't want to see this stuff, well, come back when I got it charged, or just scoot ahead in your YouTube and you'll get there. But for those who want to know what the heck is going on, here you go. It's a patented flow technology. It's got an impedance sensor that analyzes the changes in your body's glucose concentration. Glucose is blood sugar, right? As glucose concentration rise, the cells will absorb glucose and release water. That's how you get to it. The glucose goes into the cells release water, the water makes its way to your skin, and the impedance sensor sends high and low frequency centers through your tissues right at your wrist to measure the fluid moving in and out of your cells. Yeah. Wow. Okay. They are getting so sophisticated with wearables. I love this stuff. I really do. Flow technology then applies the information to an advanced algorithm to analyze the data and determine caloric intake. Now, it's doing that also in concert with things like your age and sex and weight and maybe height, I don't know, but a bunch of stuff that you feed it. And it learns who you are and what your levels are so that it can adapt to you specifically. That's how it gets its high accuracy. It's individualized. It's not a generic 120/80 is your blood pressure reading that we see in so many bands. This is done with you in mind. All right, I'm getting on a soapbox here, but I'm excited about it. In general, if you consume fewer calories than you burn, it will show a caloric deficit at the end of the day. And for those wanting to lose weight, that sounds like a pretty good idea. Accuracy is diminished on fasting diets and so forth. It registers calorie intake at the time when calories are absorbed in the body. Now, because of that, it can tell carbohydrates that are going to be absorbed quickly when you get a kind of a quick rush of glucose. But things like meat or proteins, fats that take longer over the day are going to take, well, as you can see here, different stages of the digestion process take different amount of time. Chewing and swallowing, 1 to 2 hours. Handling food by the digestive fluids, 3 to 4. The overall digestion process, 4 to 8. 5 to 9 hours, and some more than 24 hours, food is absorbed and enters the blood. And so your daily glucose input-output, and therefore translated to caloric input, will be calculated over time. So you got to wear this thing a lot, like all day. Like take it off only in the morning while you're showering, charge it up, and then put it back on to get the best data. Some of these processes occur simultaneously, and you'll see it in, 10 to 15 minutes, but the main part of a meal may take 3 to 4 hours to be digested. And I understand from looking at some of their material, as you really learn this and you start to look at the stuff in the app, where is that? Here you go. Works with GoFit. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Achieve your weight goals. Oh, there's a whole lot more in here. Control your hydration level. Yeah. Your stress, you track that up. There we go. We're back to the beginning. You see, look at how this chart is going. And when you learn to read the way it's moving, you'll get a faster, deeper understanding of how you're processing your carbs or your proteins and that kind of stuff. The gross overall data is kind of what you're looking for your daily intake-outtake. But you can also monitor if that little cupcake did what you think it did when you... Yeah, I know. Or chewing a piece of gum. Really should be very fascinating stuff. Okay, depending on the composition of the meal, 90% of the food can appear in the blood after 1 hour, up to 9 to 10 hours. Complex dishes and meats and side dishes are going to take longer. You with me? All right. About now, people start to say, okay, enough is enough. But if you're still really interested in this, here's a nice little flow chart they put together to kind of give you a description, pictorially. You're going to eat or drink something, right? Okay. It's going to be consumed, make its way through the natural digestion process, and reach the intestines where the enzymes break down the food. As it does that, the duration of the process depends on this, how long it takes and what you eat and the speed of your metabolism. But eventually, when the glucose concentration rises, the cells absorb it with water. Yeah. And then you get down here. The band on your arm uses bioimpedance sensors. Man, this sounds familiar to other things we were talking about that work with these kind of biosensor stuff. The Healy, right? The Healy TINS type unit. This is the HEALBE calorie counting unit. Anyway, it uses a bioimpedance sensor that sends high and low frequency signals through the skin to determine the movement of the fluid and track the calories. That's how it's doing it with galvanic skin resistance. Over here, the dynamic extracellular fluid can be estimated, how many calories you consume, what quantities of fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. You guys, look at that. It'll actually give you an estimate of your balance between carbs, proteins, and fats. So those of you that are working with processes that require you or encourage you to keep track of certain percentages, there you go. You're getting that out of this whole thing. And then you get, in the end, you get this graph showing the metabolic processes that shows how many calories you digested each day. And, like I said, with specific types of movement of the charts to show infusion quickly of calories or absorption, I should say, into your body, or breaking down and over time. And that's the chart. Important based on the different rates of food processing. The calorie calculation process can indeed take up to 6 hours. Wow. All right, it should be charged up by now, so let's take a look. So for connecting the HEALBE watch to the phone, you need, of course, to go to your Google Play Store or your Apple Store, download the HEALBE app itself. This is it in the Play Store. Once you've installed it, you want to open it. Now, it's going to give you a couple of pages that will tell you what this thing can do. It's going to control your energy balance. It's going to give you about signals with your pulse during activities. It can help you with controlling stress level. It's going to notify you when to drink water. And I'm not talking just a regular timer every hour. It actually will tell you when you really do need to drink water. And sleep information about quality of sleep and the smart alarm feature in here. So we get to continue. Takes us in here where we can create an account or sign in. I'm going to need to create an account. I'll do that and come right back. So after I did the basic setup of creating an account, I turned this on. It goes into, say, sync, and it immediately gives me the name of the device. Ooh, I got to set up a PIN code, a 6-digit PIN code. All righty. Got that part done. Hello! Oh, that's a good sign. Sounds like I've got connection. Wow. Okay. This is Smartwatches GoBe2. Sure, I'll keep that name. Save it. And where are we? HEALBE support, Facebook, email. This is how you get information, advice. Here's the date and the numbers, which I don't have any. So at this point, it's all set up, and now I got to get you some data. Oh my gosh, wait till you see the data that we're collecting here. Just updated again. I've got several days, and I can't wait to show you. This is so different and so new. It is really, really something. I've got energy balance, water balance, all these different things. Let's look at them one by one. In the energy balance section, I get a dual chart, which is really an interesting way to present the data. I've got calories in and calories out. Now, this is today, May the 5th, and it's picked up from after I took my morning shower up until the present time. Just in this part alone, you can see I've done exercise, walking, and other activities that have given me burned calories, and I also had breakfast and a little snack, and I've got incoming calories as well. You take that, you subtract that, and it shows you where you are net overall in terms of your caloric intake throughout the day. And the day started back here at midnight. See, right there's the gap between the 2 days. So for a while it's neutral, then it's showing me some caloric intake at 2 a.m. I don't know what that's about. Maybe I got up and night walked and binged a snack. I don't know. Here's some early morning stuff. And again, the lower part, I'm laying in bed. I'm not active until later. There's a gap in here. Not sure why that's there either. Kind of lost data a little bit, but I had it on the whole night. Here you are in the morning. There's again when I got out and showered, ate a little bit and so forth. And so we're back up to where we are. In terms of activity, it's measuring being calm, routine, walking, and running, and I got a little bit in each category. It automatically senses that. I'm not going into any kind of a mode to do that. But a lot of calm because it started at midnight, right? And I was asleep. Routine is just your basic, I guess, morning and so forth. So I've got some minutes, I've got some calories, and I can't go deeper into this other than the activity that is here is broken down here, and the basal metabolism, if it didn't have any of this, is right here based on all of the stuff I put in, my age, my weight, I don't know, whatever else they asked for, allowed it to calculate my basal metabolism, which counts into all of this to come up with the burned calories. Got it? Okay. I got total steps, I got distance traveled, and this, and I'm not too sure this is really working yet, is so sophisticated. It's dividing up and separating calories that are from fat, carbohydrate, and protein. And they seem to always be about like this, and I haven't modified my diet, and it probably is true. I'm probably doubling up on carbs. But it does vacillate between something in the 40s to something in the mid-50s, and these are usually about a quarter each. Again, don't know enough to really know, and it's not broken down other than a snapshot. So I presume it's the current condition of what it's just recently read. That is all about the calories in and out for today. Now I want to show you something. This is the 5th. I want to go back here to the 4th. Are you with me? Okay, here's yesterday. Now, go back to the beginning of yesterday, which is about right here, that 12 a.m. shift, okay? I wore it to bed that night, and it had some glitches along the way, and some caloric input. Not sure, again, why it's showing all of that. Then it jumps over here, and you see that little gap right there? Yeah, that's about 9 a.m. yesterday. Now, prior to this gap, the charts look like that. After this gap, the charts look like this. I have a little bit more definition in the exercise area that I was getting over here. Go back the day before, same kind of thing. Here's some big meals. Look at that. Here we go. Back on Monday. But on the 4th, something magical happened at that little box, that little spot, right there at 9. You know what happened? I took it off my wrist. No, it's not reading thin air. Are you ready for this? Yeah. I figured there's so many people that have got these COVID quarantine bands on that I would look okay if I was walking around with a band on. Of course, everybody would think I'm jumping quarantine, but I have been wearing this band in the very last thing, so you got to have a fairly thin ankle for it to work, or an extender. But I've been wearing it right here on my ankle instead of on my wrist. And gang, I'm getting better data than I would on my wrist. Now I freed my wrist up again so I can keep reviewing apps and watches and things. So from yesterday forward, all of this data, not just this chart, but the ones you're going to see later, are measured from my ankle, okay? Now, go back a little bit further. I just want to show you the overall charts. I've done this for a few days now, so you can see how it basically works, how it's pulling in the data, and the intakes and outflows are all there. Here we go, way back here. here. Okay, so I got a negative 169. The idea is as long as it's negative, I'm putting out more calories than I'm taking in, I should start to lose weight, right? That would be cool. Here's the next day. Here's the next day. The summary of all of these. I don't need to do it here. I got another way I can show you. I can come back here. Okay, it's connected back to the band. And it says, in case of no connection with the skin, try tightening it and cleaning the contacts. You really got to do that. Look how kind of messed up they are right now on my ankle. Yeah, I need to wipe them down, do that regularly. But here's my values. There's my 43, 45 calorie negative for the day so far. And I can go down here and I get my weekly report on energy balance. And you see the little thin red line and black line? That's the amount above or below 0. This is all the calories I took in. These are the calories I took out. And right now I'm running slightly negative. If I want to lose weight quickly, I need to increase the size of that black bar and change my diet so I'm not eating so many carbs, probably. There's nothing I can see in here that is guiding me on how to shift my diet. It's simply reporting back what my intake and outflow are based on my body actually producing sucrose, and it's reading all of that stuff. Just a quick reminder to get an exclusive 10% discount on picking up the GoBe2 watch. Use the code MrTix10 and go to the link bit.ly/HEALBE. bit.ly/HEALBE. Thank you. When I go down to yesterday, there's the data for that. And look, all these other, no, don't jump ahead. All these other things are here too. There's yesterday, there's 2 days ago, 3 days ago. My pulse rate's there. My accumulated stress level above normal is there. My night's sleep is there. Gang, this is incredible. This is the most sophisticated, detailed biological data I've ever seen. And I got a feeling it's pretty close to accurate. Maybe not perfect, but pretty darn close. And this is the 2, right? This is the GoBe2, the original one, where it bases its data on galvanic skin resistance from the plates alone. Let's keep going. Energy balance we did. Water balance. Here we go. This is today. Yep, I'm dehydrated. Definitely when it goes down like this, the watch is going to flash. So it says no connection right now, or no contact. It's not on my body. And if it's not, it vibrates and tells you that. But if you cycle through here, or if you wait and it gets low like this, it will flash water on the screen and vibrate, and you know it's time to take a sip of water. And indeed, I tend to run on the dehydrated side. That's my modus operandi. I don't take in a lot of water. Probably why I eat more than I should. If I drank water before I eat, I'd be better off. So above is okay. That's your normal level. It's when it starts showing up down below that I'm dehydrated. And there it is back a few days worth of stuff. But you can see right now, I'm thirsty. You probably hear me a little bit of dry mouth talking to you. And it's right now just before 2 p.m. Pretty dry, okay? Normal 47%, low 53%. This is the hours I spent in those categories of being either normal or too low for water. So water retention is in here as well. Pulse, typically what you see, but it's got another little caveat I haven't seen. And it's this little moon thing, which is supposedly when you're asleep, but it also appears to be jumping up when I'm sedentary. So I'm getting kind of a picture of when I'm sitting at the computer doing stuff. Again, there's gaps. This was when I took a shower, so I took it off. This is last night, and it saw me as being asleep. There's a gap. I don't know why. Maybe it shifted on my ankle. I don't know. Yes, I wore it on my ankle all that time. Here we are at night from midnight up until then, and it's showing you my basic heart rate there, gives my average sleep heart rate, so it's computing that when it's detecting that it's in that heart rate, and your average awake average is the ones where it's not shaded. So you're getting the full background of the overall chart, and you're getting the breakouts of the heart rate between sleep and awake. Look at all of that. Yeah. And then there's a threshold of 100. Oh, yeah, it's vibrating and it's saying no connection. It really tries to get you to make sure you're connected. 24/7. If it had its way, you would never take it off. They really like you to wear it at least 23 of the 24 hours of a day. Okay, so a lot of stuff is there. There's an option that you can take a blood pressure estimate. I'll show you that in a minute. That is truly an estimate. They tend to be running high on what mine actually is. I think I'm about 130, let's say. 130 over 80-ish. And so it's running high there. Here's another one taken at this time. I'm always taking two back to back just to see. And then I did another one here. So I haven't calibrated or correlated it with actual blood pressure, but in the past it's been around 130 for me. Light hypertension, not as high as that. So if it's true that this is near 20 points exactly above where I should be, I just simply subtract off 20 points or whatever the actual number is in comparison to get a better estimated blood pressure. But that is done here with that heart rate aspect of it as well under pulse. So that's the data there. Then you get this stress area. This is really interesting. A lot of times the stress things on bands and rings and watches comes in pretty normal, low, not high stress. This one, I think, is giving me a better picture of encouraging me to try to relax a little bit more because it tends to be above light. I'm in the elevated area quite often. And so whatever it's reading, maybe it's reading too high, in which case I could just adjust it a delta down and presume that when it says elevated for me, that's really normal. I don't know. But nonetheless, here you go. You've got the chart showing, there you go, in the midnight to 4 a.m. The ... means it's on, it's connected, but it's not acquiring data, as I understand it. So for some reason, it was totally disconnected, then connected, and then boom, it started reading again a little bit before 6. Might have gotten up and gone to the bathroom or something. Here's yesterday. Same kind of thing. Here's in the evening hours. Here's the afternoon hours where I tend to be more active. Here's lunchtime period. So sometimes not getting as much data for the stress, which is a different type of computation, I presume, than the other things. But what data it's giving me, I'm getting some pretty good stuff. You see these little black areas there? I believe that's when I'm in REM sleep. Nah, can't be. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.? Okay, I don't know what the black areas are. When we get into sleep, we'll talk about that. Here's another day and another day. So there's your data for accumulated stress above normal and a breakdown, light, elevated, and high. And this is the daily numbers, 10, 15, 16, 17 hours roughly of wearing it that it was able to measure. That was accumulated stress. Now we get into night sleep. It's giving you a quality. And again, I've got all my days here. So last night's quality was 40, 48 the night before. Look at that. Night sleep was quality of 80% that night. Let's take a look at it. Here we go. Look at this. Okay, these are the REM, rapid eye movement categories here. And when you see a yellow, and I don't there, yellow is when I was awake, supposedly. So this starts at 9 p.m., it looks like. Yeah, 9 p.m. there. And then there's some sleep time from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. That's a different day. Here we go, midnight-ish. And so I'm getting some tracking on here, and I'm getting my REM sleep, and I'm getting this little alarm. This is the smart alarm, guys, and you can actually see it worked here. I set it for 6:30, but it'll go off anytime up to 45 minutes early. So it went off at 5:57, which it detected was the end of my REM sleep time. It vibrated. I was in a dream. I remember the dream. It was incredible. It's great. Its intent is to wake you up in your REM sleep so that you'll be refreshed and get up easily, as opposed to either being deep sleep or light or whatever. I can show you further down here. There we go. Some awake times. Had a rough night that night, and it went off at 6:30 because I wasn't asleep. I was like laying in bed awake, and it went off on time at 6:30 that particular night. And then I guess this is last night, had some wake time there, some deep REM sleep time. 6:15 alarm went off, but it's still measuring that I was in bed until noon. Why, I don't know. It probably counts for some of the efficiency and quality numbers and the duration and all of that. Looks like I woke up 7 times. Anyway, a lot of interesting data in here. I love that. Watch how the chart just kind of fades away too. Attention to detail is exquisite in all of these. Yeah. So very impressed with the sleep category as well and what it can do, and the special alarm. And then you got your weight, which is just where you put in your weight. You go to a scale and you measure, and it does a dynamic computation. You can set up your goal of what weight you want to achieve, and do you want it fast, medium, or take your good sweet time cutting out the candy bars, whatever you want. And that just is a manual data entry thing. I believe you can tie it in with Google Fit and get your weight from a smart scale sent over. It only shows up when you actually wear or when you actually put your weight in manually. On the days you don't weigh, it doesn't show up. But you get that great summary in there as well. So, a couple of more things to show you. We start on this page. We've got the energy balance. This is a 7-day summary when I first put it on in the afternoon, the next day, and so forth. And it's figured me out, and it's normalized, so it's at the height and bottom of the cumulative calories in and out. And that's why you need to wear it for several days to get some baseline data. Over here's my activity, steps, distance traveled, and you can see a bar chart showing how well I performed on those days. Here's the stress situation. Over half of my time is elevated. Can you possibly believe that? A guy like me would have elevated stress? I don't think so. Night sleep. Okay. Average duration, quality. You know more about me than Mrs. Tix knows about me. Here's my pulse, a wake time, a sleep time, and there's the overall charts. And again, it looks like a high and low. There's no line in between the two, but I presume it's awake and asleep. And if it was calibrated with numbers, they would be there. And then your overall water balance, which I do need to work on. You see, I got above is normal, but these low ones, this is not healthy to be dehydrated for a lot of reasons. So Tom Brady style, I'm going to sip, sip, sip my way to stardom. We'll see how it goes. But this will tell me how well I'm doing. You got any questions? What are the other things up here? Well, let's check them out. This is a settings. I can set my weight and height and distance and volume in other units. I'm in English units here. You can turn on or off the vibrations, notifications, all of that stuff. There's the Google Fit integration. I could literally export the sensor data to Google Fit as well. Pulse, night sleep, step count, calorie intake, all of that would go over to Google Fit. And from there, of course, I could share it or do whatever I want to with it as well. Really robust. And then we've got me and my stuff. And this is where you put in your gender, your weight, a bunch of other things. Just, your basic data that it needs to make all these computations. And that's it. There's no things across the bottom to switch to different pages. You can't slide across them. It's an up and down type of thing, but it is accumulating all of the days. I've done 5-6 days so far, and they're just streamable in here. I don't know if it goes 30 days or for a long time or whatever. Shows you your battery level, your Bluetooth connection. If it's connected, it shows there. And that's it. So the device itself, when you have it on, it's going to be like this, right? You press the button and you'll see the time there. You do have the option of flipping it so it's the other way in case you want to wear it on your right side. When you tap it a second time, and you have to be pretty serious on pressing it, shows the battery's full. Press again, and what does that say? Heart rate, M/M? Is that maybe blood pressure estimate? I don't know. Minus 49, that's my calories for currently, right? Here it says minus 51, so maybe it's sinking right now as we say. Okay, and now it's coming back, flashing at me. No connection, but it's connected. It does a funny little dance, so we'll just have to leave it at that. But you can cycle through the data. There's my step count, should be in here somewhere. Here you go. And my mileage, 1.42 miles. Not sure what that is, M/A, but it's not getting the data. And then I'm back to time. Okay, the HEALBE GoBe2, for what it does. If you don't want an actual watch, if you want to, like me, put it around your ankle or, wear it on your non-dominant wrist or something just to have it there, and use it mainly as a data accumulator. Highly recommend at this point the GoBe2. We have not yet looked at the GoBe3. Going to do that, so be sure you stick around for that review and subscribe if you haven't, and turn the alarm bell on so you know when it's coming if you want to check that one out. But for this one, with a discounted price down to $118, and I may be able to get you coupon discounts for even lower, definitely check the show notes for that, and I'll have a coupon link in there if I can. I'd say this is a really worthy contender if you are interested in tracking your overall calories in, calories out, seeing what happens with adjustments to your diet in terms of the time it takes to process carbs, fats, you name it. Your overall balance, striving to get this as high a number as you can to help you with losing weight, and also judging your calorie usage and time throughout the full day and evening of movement, whether you're absolutely calm like sleeping or just walking around doing house chores, literally walking or running, against your basal metabolism, and trying to increase some of these numbers to get more calories burned in those categories. Yeah, really, really interesting data on this one. Wow, it's kind of washed out. Sorry about that. I can do the slider here and change it. There you go. So again, that's what we are looking at, are these different energy levels and activity levels. That alone, I think, is really great. But then you add into it the sleep stuff that you can do with the smart alarm capability to ring right out of REM sleep. Wow. Have not seen any watch like this, so I'm very pleased and very glad they sent it out for us to show you guys. And we will be back with the GoBe3. Yes, we will. Alrighty, thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon. Just a quick reminder, to get an exclusive 10% discount on picking up the GoBe2 watch, use the code MrTix10 and go to the link bit.ly/HEALBE. bit.ly/HEALBE. Thank you.